you know, the blue-collar audience is perceived, at least, to be right-wing. Your crowd's perceived to be left-wing.
If you looked at my crowd, when they come in a room, I gave up on judging what the fuck people think. I got people coming in with like spikes through their eyeballs and fucking tottering in at the age of 962 and an 8-year-old that has got ADHD, but he loves the word fuck, and so I'm his favorite person. So the spectrum of people who watch me are not really, I've got just as many conservatives watching me as I do the other side.
So how much of a character is Larry? It's really Dan, right?
I tell you, you know, it's a little bit of a character. His father was a preacher and a pig farmer from Nebraska, so you add those two together, you get Larry the Cable Guy.
You know, I wrote the intro to his book.
That's right, you did. I
did, and the reason
that.
I did it was I was pissed at people giving him shit for busting his hump and fucking getting to a point where he's successful and then saying that, you know, he was a right-wing lunatic. Now, he is, but, you know, you don't call somebody out for that because it's not really his act. His act is like, you know, hee-haw to the 10th power. And I don't think there are any sides left anymore, to be honest, because both sides, to me, both sides are so deeply mired in shit that it is beyond my comprehension how to do what it is I'm supposed to fucking do anymore.
But here's the thing, the whole right-left thing is a bell, but most of us are at the top of the bell. But we don't hear about that. We only hear the extremist position, so we assume everybody's either
Well, as of late, I don't think we are on a bell. I don't know what we're at. I do know this. I do know that there's a certain group of people in the country who believe in the individual to the point of it's the most important fucking thing on the planet is the individual, and me, I'm it. And then there's another group of people who believe that government, a collective, the group, and that's the most important thing on earth. So that you have a group of people who read Ayn Rand and fucking took a piece of fiction. How do you read fiction and come up with a political philosophy?
Ask Christians.
It's fiction. It's fiction. Christians, I don't give a shit. That's a book that somebody at least comes up with some mumbo fucking jumbo and stands there in a hat and does some fucking shaky things. And it makes it work. I'm talking about somebody by themselves reading a goddamn book and then coming out with this libertarian thing and the beyond that we are it. I am the most important thing on the fucking planet. And that we are teetering at that position now where these people believe that the individual is so profoundly important and the government and the collective is a piece of shit. And that's because of communism. If you allow this group of people to actually work together, we're fucked. Because the next thing you know, we'll all be on farms, fucking working together and singing those shitty communist songs. We're at this point now, I think, where it's not liberal conservative, it's psychotic and idiotic.
Or maybe it's because nobody, no matter even how much you might like Sarah Palin, can actually envision a positive joke about Sarah Palin.
I made the decision after she was nominated and I heard her speak the first couple of times after a couple of weeks, and I knew she was like, for me, a mother lode. But I was so shocked that she was running. It stunned me so much. I said on stage, I wouldn't make jokes about her because I could not live in this world if I believed she was a real person. And so, I have, for the entire time that she's been around, treated her as a hallucination.
I love talking to you about the time you did the White House press corps dinner.
Yeah.
You were right there in the belly of the beast.
Yeah.
What was that like, man?
Well, what was weird, Dick Cheney is to my right, and to my left is Mitch McConnell. And it's really almost more than you can bear. And I look to my right, and Cheney is laughing his tits off at my stuff. I mean, wow, slapping his knees and having the time of his fucking life, and all I'm thinking is, I am evil. And I'm waiting for the stench to pop and stuff. he's laughing his tits off, and half the audience is like, Mr. Black. He's like, pricks. And I'm dealing with that, and then I turn to the left, and Mitch McConnell, if I'm ever near that fucking son, I'm in a punch. I mean, you know, we're not supposed to be violent in what we say anymore.
Yeah,
that son of a bitch, I'm gonna punch in the face. I mean it. Besides, not his politics, I don't give a shit about it, but it's an audience member, and you're sitting there, fucking smile. Fucking pretend you're having a good time, you son of a bitch. You don't have to laugh. But he's just such a, and it was like he was holding a shit in or something. And I'd go from him back to him and back to him, and it was a horrifying experience.
That's so bizarre, because whenever comics are having like shitty sets, you always find that one audience member who really likes you. So every time you're like, this is going really bad, that guy still likes me. Your guy was Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney.
So you had to, like, you had to shake hands with Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a moral dilemma for me.
Nah, he's a guy. What he's in?
Well, no, he's not just a
now,
guy.
Now, Mitch McConnell might have a goddamn dilemma. He got the joke.
You gotta shake his hand if Dick laughed the whole time.
And I'll tell you a really great Dick Cheney follow-up story. I am at a Larry King benefit, for, he's got a big, huge heart fund thing, and they buy hearts and shove them in people. They do something. And so I'm doing this event, and my mother and father are there. My mother, it is a moral thing for my mother, because Dick Cheney is in the other room. People are paying like $5,000 for a photo with Dick Cheney. They come over to me and say, would you like your photo taken with Dick Cheney? I turn to my mother and say, would you like your photo taken with Dick Cheney? I'm not getting my photo taken with that son of a bitch. Never. And then she says, and besides that, there's John McLaughlin of the McLaughlin Group was sitting 15 feet away. And she says, I got to get over to that son of a bitch and tell him what a turd he is. So I turn to my father and I say, would you like your picture taken with Dick Cheney? And he goes, great. And he pops up. So I now traipse into the room. And now it's Dick Cheney, his wife, Larry King and his wife, and we come around the corner. My father is about 86 at the time, and his hearing is kind of shot, and he sees Larry King's wife for the first time, and at the top of his lungs goes, Jesus, I didn't know that Larry King married a shiksa. And that kind of takes the whole political thing out of the room.
Yeah, it becomes a whole other ballgame.
But I took the gig. I accepted the gig. As soon as you accept the gig, you accept the responsibility of the gig. There is nothing on any level to be gained in the universe or that moment in time for me to turn to Dick Cheney, who has risen and at least showed up because Bush didn't fucking show up. That's the only reason I got this prick sitting there.
Plus, I would never be one of those people. I don't care who's in charge. I still, maybe this is like my Missouri hillbilly side, I still do respect the office.
So what, the president of Germany was, you had to respect the office even when Hitler was
If you're
in it?
German?
Well, yeah. If you're German.
What about the Germans who said, no, I don't respect it, that's wrong, that's not what Germany is,
Really,
you don't speak for me. Aren't they the good guys?
We're gonna go down, really, Lou knows, there's nothing you can talk about World War II and the Germans that I don't know. This could be another 18 hours.
Seriously?
Oh,
yes, I just got the whole Nazi thing they advertise on TV, unseen footage. Oh, I mean, here he is at the Wolf's Lair. What? I never saw this shit. What? And now they've got interviews because the people are old enough in Germany. They finally, I think they think, fuck it, we're gonna die, so they're being honest. And now there's all these old Germans going, well, we were not telling the truth. We kind of thought he was awesome. We did. We were all in. We didn't like the Jews. We were sad about being German. He made us happy about being German. It was all great till it got weird.